Now, I know that the energy currently feels supercharged, right? Everyone, and I mean everyone, is talking about the year of the fire horse, right? And how it's about action and momentum and movement forward. And that's very true. However, it's probably not movement in the way that you're probably imagining it. And that is the key. That's the key to success in this fire horse year. Right. And so I'm going to be talking a little bit about the energy right now, how it plays into the fire horse year, and really how to move successfully with it. Because if there's one thing that we're going to see over and over again this year, is impulsivity, leaping before you look, and recklessness. And so this video is going to help you combat all of that and use the energy to your advantage. So if you want to know more, stick around. You definitely don't want to miss this. Hello, my loves. As always, I hope that this video finds you well and in excellent spirits. If this is our first time meeting, welcome. My name is Mel. I'm a professional astrologer, and I'm the founder of Divine Feminine Works, where I help people unlock their divinity and discover their magic. All right. And as always, if you are returning, welcome back. So today's video is all about the energy of the moment and this fire horse year. All right. Because, like I said, this year is all about movement, but you don't want to move recklessly. And movement isn't always movement that is tangible, meaning movement that you can see and feel. Sometimes the movement is internal. And that's actually the point of the energy at the moment. And that's why I've entitled this video Slow Down, right? Because we've just come out of this wood snake year, right? And to preface this, I am in no way, shape, or form an expert on Chinese astrology. I've been watching the videos and doing a little studying on my own, but in the description box below, I've linked some of my favorite creators who have made videos all about the fire horse year and Chinese astrology, because clearly I am not an expert, all right? And I don't want to pretend like I am one. But I am someone who feels and interprets the energy, right? And so we were in, last year was, and by last year, I mean 2025. It was a year that was a 9 numerological year. It was a wood snake year. It was all about shedding skin. It was all about wrapping things up. And that takes a more quieter tone that's a little less movement forward when you compare it to this year, which is a number one numerological year and it's a fire horse year. So everyone wants to move. Everyone, I guess, apparently has shed old skin. They're ready to move forward and they're ready to hit the ground running. All right. But hitting the ground running without a plan and without being clear is a recipe for disaster. Okay. Because you can be moving in the wrong direction, going nowhere really fast, or messing things up for yourself. It's important to understand that movement is great, but movement in the wrong direction isn't. And movement for the sake of movement isn't either. The best way to use this energy is to be laser like focused on what it is that you want and what it takes to get there and moving in accordance with the cycles, right? And what I mean by that is there's times to physically move, there's time to physically do things. And then there are other times when the movement is internal. You're moving energy, you're moving ideas, you're moving beliefs, you're addressing those things. And the energy of the moment really sort of speaks to that. So, one of my favorite creators who I've gotten into is someone who is really into feng shui and really broke down the energy of the year and feng shui, right? I'm not going to get into that, but she brought up a very important point that really speaks to the energy of the moment. And it's that the fire horse energy, it's about three things that will really make it successful, that'll really make it successful. That is the power of the energy, clarity, and intention. So, like I said before, it's not about movement for the sake of movement, right? So many of us could possibly find ourselves in this energy loop of restlessness, of, wanting to make changes, being sick and tired of being sick and tired. And the knee jerk reaction to that is movement, right? It's doing something. And you feel like doing something is better than doing nothing. But if you don't know what you're really doing, then by the time next year rolls around, you may not have gotten much further than you are. It's the difference between doing busy work and doing productive work, right? Again, you don't want to be moving in the wrong direction. And the other important point about the energy right now is that this powerful energy needs a container. And that's really where clarity and intention come in because imagine like a wild horse. It cannot be tamed. It's not really going anywhere. It's just thrashing about, moving and coming back. Like that's kind of a waste of energy. And it's really a waste of physical energy. And in a year where physical energy is at a premium, you really want to be able to use it constructively. All right. So, first, let's talk about clarity, the clarity of your intentions and the clarity of your desires, right? So, at the time that I'm filming this video, Mars is getting ready to go into Pisces. And Mars in Pisces is kind of like meh. Mars is the planet of action, it's the planet of movement, right? It's very much aligned with this fire horse energy. But in a sign like Pisces, it's muted a bit. And it's not muted in the sense that you shouldn't be taking any action. It's more so a time to clarify your desires using your intuition, right? This is about getting clear on what your desires feel like. This is important because if you've watched any manifestation videos, you know that being is the secret and you've got to feel it before it comes about. Mars and Pisces is really going to help that, right? So before you start moving, what does that desire feel like within your body? More importantly, how does it feel in your body? Sometimes we want things like our brain wants things that our body is not ready for, right? We want this relationship, but when it shows up, we're like, oh my gosh, I'm too scared, or oh my gosh, all of these feelings are coming up and I can't handle it, right? You need to get right within with respect to your desires, right? And so Mars and Pisces is definitely going to assist you with that. And that requires a slowing down. So the movement there isn't, oh, let me go out and get this thing that I want. Let me go out and, chase this person or chase this bag or whatever. It's like, what does this desire feel like in my body? And do I feel comfortable with it? That is sort of the energy that we're experiencing in the moment. And so you should definitely lean into that. Before you want to change that job, before you want to offer that new service, how does it feel in your body? Slow down and examine that. And then speaking of slowing down, I also want to point out two things. And I think I pointed this out in my last video. We're still in the midst of winter. Winter is a time of hibernation. It's a time of inner planning before external movement, right? So even though we're in a fire horse year, you'll notice that at different times of the year, the movement is internal rather than external. So we're still in winter. And number two, we're in Mercury retrograde, and Mercury retrograde is in Pisces right now. So it's really about remembering things, tapping into your intuition, tapping into your inner world. And that takes reflection. It takes reflection, it takes slowing down, it also takes, quiet time and all of those things. So, at least as we're sitting in the energy right now, that may be the best use of it to get clear, right? And then the next thing I want to talk about is intention. Intention and desire kind of go hand in hand, right? Like what do you intend? What are your intentions? What are your desires, right? And all of that is definitely well and good. But given the energy of the moment, one of the best ways to really get in alignment with the intention behind whatever it is that you desire is forming new habits. And I talked about this in my last video. And this is really because we are under the energy of a lunar eclipse in Virgo. Now, the lunar eclipse in Virgo wants to close things out. The Virgo Pisces story is coming to an end. And we're really sort of wrapping things up with a beautiful, clean bow. We're compartmentalizing, we're organizing. And the lunar eclipse may really show you where you need some work, where things need to tighten up a bit, and particularly when it comes to your habits, right? What new habits are in alignment with the things that you want? This is a time of even like mental recalibration, I'll say, because Virgo is ruled by Mercury, right? So we're feeling what our desires feel like with Mars entering Pisces. And then we're examining and maybe starting to form new habits with this lunar eclipse in Virgo. And then along the same lines of desire and intention, we have Venus entering Aries. And Venus entering Aries is great because it's really going to help you focus on a particular goal, a particular desire. And that's really important in this year of the fire horse. Because so many of us are feeling restless, impatient, you may want to do all the things all at once. And that is surely a recipe for disaster. All right. It's really about narrowing your options and your goals. Think about it. It's so much better use of your physical energy, your mental energy, all of the things, right? The best use of the energy is when it's laser like focus on one thing. So you can not only harness that energy, but direct it in sort of a clean way, right? You don't want to be scattered all over the place. You don't want to be doing a little bit with a lot of things. You want to be doing a lot with very few things. All right. So don't let this energy sweep you up and make you think that you have to do a lot of things and do a lot of things urgently, because that's how this energy can feel. And when I was preparing for this video, the vision that came to mind was, you know how like, and they say this about Black people, right? They say that you'll see someone running, you don't even know what they're running from or running what the whole running is about. You'll just start running too, right? That's how this fire horse energy can feel. And we're seeing it. We're seeing that the world looks like it's on fire. It's like a dumpster fire. Every day is something else that gets you hyped and gets your nervous system rattled. And so you want to run, you want to do. But the doing could be really counterproductive to the point where you could be doing all the things right now and it completely derails you from where you're actually intending to go, what you actually want to do. Thrashing about and just doing the most can probably get you farther from your goal more so than it can get you closer to it. So don't just run because everyone else is running. Don't get outraged because everyone else is getting outraged. Meanwhile, that outrage isn't helping you at all. It's about quelling that impulsivity and getting laser like focus on what it is that you need to do and what it is that you want to do, and then taking action toward that. But also keeping in mind, again, Mercury's retrograde right now, it's still winter, at least in the northern hemisphere, right? So the doing may be a little slower. Please do not expect this to be a year of constant go, 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 go. You will burn yourself the fuck out. Okay? And that's not going to get you anywhere. In my 2026 year ahead forecast, I talk about how while this is a year of momentum, the Mercury retrogrades this year are really a great opportunity to rest and recalibrate. A fire horse year requires a lot of physical energy, and you need to conserve that energy, right? Even when you're running a marathon, and please, I've never ran a marathon, so take this with a grain of salt. But as I theorize running a marathon, it's like there are certain times where you push hard, but then you've got to get to a certain pace so that you can maintain the longevity. If you're trying to sprint a marathon, you will not only burn out, you'll likely injure yourself. You need to pace yourself. And so things are a little quieter right now. But in that quiet, that's when you really get organized. And the lunar eclipse in Virgo is really going to help with that. Get organized, form new habits, narrow down what it is that you want to one or two things at the most. And then get clear. Get your whole emotional body clear on what it is that you want and prepare for it. Like I said before, so many of us, we want things that our bodies, our vessel, our container just cannot hold. So the downtime, the quiet time, the slower times is when you fortify your vessels, when you fortify your container. It's when you get clear on the things that you want. It's when you form new habits so that when it is time to go and trust and believe, that time is coming. We're in Pisces season. We're about to enter a new year come Aries season. And Aries season, especially when the sun is in Aries, that is go time. That is the time to do the things. But right now, we're still hibernating. We're getting ready. We're conserving our energy so that we can hit the ground running when the time is right. All right, my love. So I just wanted to give you this quick video so you understand the energy of the moment, how best to use it so you don't burn yourself out at the very start of everything. All right. And so If you like this content, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, set that notification bell so you never miss a broadcast, right? You never miss a video. And also, if you want to know more about not just the energy of the moment, but yourself and how you are designed, then you will want to sign up for my signature service, which is the blueprint. This is not your average natal chart reading. All right. This is basically three readings in one. So, your natal chart reading is a transit reading, and it's also a progressed natal chart reading in one, in a smaller scale. But I formulate it like this so that you not only understand how you designed, you understand what chapter you're in currently, and you understand what's going on. So, it gives you this context, it gives you this framework that really helps you not only learn yourself, but learn astrology as well. And speaking of learning astrology, as part of the service, you get a personal almanac that you can start tracking the astrology as it relates to your natal chart. Like it is invaluable in terms of learning astrology and learning yourself. And it's sort of like this little homework that you can do that is ongoing. All right. And so if you're interested in signing up for that, you'll want to sign up for a free 15-minute clarity call so that we can discuss whether the service is right for you, or if you're ready to dive right in, the link to that, just booking the service will be in the description box below. But either way, the description box has everything you need to sign up for the service. All right, my love. So hopefully you heed this message. Hopefully you take this energy and use it constructively because the year of the fire horse has just begun. And you don't want to start off burnt out or with an injury, either physically or energetically. All right, so slow down, take it easy, and conserve your energy, baby, because it's about to be a wild ride. All right, my loves, thank you so much for tuning into this video, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.